Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, the Colon Game Part 1 on episode 9 or episode 56 of the total number of episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. This episode right here was actually nice and awesome and somewhat emotional depending on your point of view. So if anything else, let's just get this started. When it comes to Yuji's trial, it involves Yuji's a little backstory involving him going to a pachinko parlor. And apparently, unfortunately, because Yuji failed and he is considered guilty, he ends up having to fight without any cursed energy, which is part of like Higuruma's domain expansion, I guess. Higuruma, I believe. Higuruma's domain expansion, which shows that if you try to lie or something like that, you're not really going to be in a very good position to fight. And Higuruma showing his great skill in terms of like how to use his cursed energy and domain expansion and other physical and combat abilities. He's not someone you should undermine at all. As for Yuji, he was only able to survive because of his physical strength. By that time, he decides to have a retrial, and when the judge man ends up talking about Yuji's like guilt about like what's it call it, being a mass murderer, killing a lot of people in Shibuya, this is on you, am I correct? And Yuji's like, yeah, I'm the one that killed them. By that time, it becomes bad news because Judgment now considers freaking like Yuji worthy of the death penalty. We get to see Higuruma's new weapon, which involves, I believe, like some kind of executioner sword, which if you get touched by it, you're pretty much dead in other cases. By that time, of course, we get to know about Higuruma when he had the chance to become a judge back then. But unfortunately, he doesn't become one because he sees human as filthy and weak. Whatever his reasons are, he chose not to become one because he has a possible disdain towards humanity in a certain way. I guess that's the one way how to put it. But eventually, after knowing about Yuji's real truth that it wasn't his fault that he never killed those people at all, he decides to not freaking like use his weapon to slice him and let himself be punched. By that time, this allows Higuruma to regain some of his humanity and decides to talk about Yuji, saying that you have to understand this ain't your fault though, you know? You haven't killed those people. I know it was Sukuna that did it. But Yuji's like, well, that might be true, but it's still on me because I am still weak. By that time, Higuruma decides to talk to Yuji, have a chair-to-chair talk, and ask him, have you ever killed anyone out of your own volition? And Yuji's like, didn't sugarcoat it or didn't hide it. He says, yeah, I did kill someone out of my own volition. By that time, it was pretty heartbreaking for Yuji himself because, you know, he has to live with those things forever, and he still blames himself for being weak for letting Sukuna to control him. Higuruma also does feel the same as him because he too actually killed someone. Whatever the situation is, they end up coming to a certain agreement, and we have to it that Kogane, or should I say Higuruma spends 100 points to have Kogane add a rule to make it possible for players to transfer points. And by that time, it was agreed, and Higuruma decides to send 1 point to Yuji Itadori so he'll be okay. We have to it that Higuruma decides to give up this game, I guess, and leave. Well, I don't think he's giving up. I think he's, like, retiring for the time being, or waiting until the barrier lifts up. Yuji offers him a chance to, like, maybe help everyone out, including him and his friends. But Higuruma's like, well, allow me to tell you that the two people I killed was actually the judge and prosecutor, which is my two remaining points. After thinking about it and the barriers open up, I'm gonna turn myself in. Until then, I'm gonna have to think about what I should do, and if I stay with you, I'm likely to hate myself even more after what I did. Sorry, I'm not criticizing you. I just can't do this, and he ends up leaving. Yuji can only stand in silence, hearing Higuruma's answer, but understands maybe why he's doing it. Preview next episode, Tokyo number one colony part 4. So it looks like to me we're going to continue the parts of the Tokyo colony, and it's not going to end anytime soon, I believe. Whatever the situation, I think next episode might involve Megumi, and he might be in a very tight spot situation. So Looking forward to see how this turns out, but it may not be very pretty. So until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.